What's going on, LSG fam? Welcome back to another video on the channel, man. We are here fresh, and when I mean fresh, I'm talking about minutes out of the season finale of I guess the series finale. This is a mini series, right? So
series, yeah.
The series finale of The Penguin. We have watched all 8 episodes. Gather around the campfire every Sunday watching these episodes, and it is finally time to give you guys the review. We're going to go ahead and review the series as a whole and obviously talk about the finale. And if you are new to LFG off rip, we like to give you our ratings just so you guys can, get straight to it, and then, we'll save all that other stuff for after. So spoiler-free ratings first. Who wants to kick it off?
Are we doing season rating or like
I was gonna do episode rating and then I'll do the whole season. So let me start it off right there. Episode rating for episode 8. Title. Let me grab that real quick. Because I can't. Dang, I think it had like a crazy title actually. A Great or Little Thing. So yeah, episode 8, A Great or Little Thing. I enjoyed the episode. Obviously, this is spoiler free, so we'll give our thoughts on exactly what we thought of the entire episode. But I really did enjoy this episode. It did not disappoint, at least to me. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna go with a 10. If you guys saw my last our last podcast, I talked about how certain things might show up, may not show up, and regardless, it wasn't gonna affect the rating for me. So I'm gonna go with a 10 on this episode for the season. That also leaves it at a 10 for me. I thought this was absolutely beautifully acted, beautifully written. All the performances were well all around. The shots, as far as like the explosions, the scenes that they go to, different locations they go to, phenomenal. So I had no issues with this show whatsoever. So I am at a 10 all the way around. The Penguin.
Double 10s.
I'll go next. Wow. Double 10s. For the episode, because that's what's first. There was a great episode. That's how you end the season. That the Agatha, that's how you do it. But yeah, I agree. It was a 10 episode. That was probably my favorite episode of the entire season. Like, just hands down. It was a phenomenal episode. As far as the season goes, I'm not the same with you. I'm at like I'm gonna be generous. I'm at a 9. I'm gonna be generous.
A 9 is generous.
He was about to go somewhere else. I thought you were gonna say 7. I was like, oh my god.
I'm not disrespectful.
Okay.
I am on the same page as J Mag. This is double 10s. I have enjoyed this from episode 1 all the way to episode 8, and that finale. I'm still shell shocked. I have been talking about this since I heard about it. I'm not gonna say what it is yet, but Colin Farrell let us know, don't fall in love with this character yet. Man, I'm still stunned. So yeah, double 10s for me, man. Both episode and season series.
Well, there you guys go. Like Jet mentioned, we give our ratings off rip. So Penguin got 2 10s and a 9 here from us at LFG that did watch it. So go ahead and go check out the series. I think we can all highly recommend you guys go watch it. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go do yourself a favor and go watch The Penguin. It was phenomenal. But yeah, this is the point of the show, or the point of the review, where we get into spoilers. So if you guys haven't seen the episode yet, go finish that, come back and check out what we thought about the entire episode, about the entire season. We'll give you our full thoughts on that. But fair warning now, spoiler talk begins right now. So let me before we get into everything, and I know we're gonna talk about you know what? Nah, let's not even prolong it. Never mind. Let's not even prolong it. The people are here for one thing, man. Let's get our thoughts on the rumors. They told us at the beginning of the season, man, we were gonna see the boy Batman, right? Like we weren't gonna see him. They said, no, don't expect Batman. He's not showing up. But for whatever reason, and including us here, like they made a reason for him to show up in episode 7. Like that explosion through the street gave everybody like reason to be like, oh shit, Batman should show up, right? Like this shit is a major event that just happened. He better show up, or at least he should. And we get no Batman. The only thing we get is this little symbol right there. And Jet made an actual joke, like I think it was yesterday, a couple days ago. We were all joking around that we're just gonna see the bat signal. And yeah, sure enough, it's a bat signal. They called him for help at the end of this episode. So what'd you guys think about no Batman in it?
I got it. I'm gonna start because I just thought about it on the top of my head. So as far as our new Batman goes in his movie, he only appears at night, correct? Like he's a nighttime Batman right now.
Oh, I believe so, right?
Exactly. So
Right?
that's what I was getting to. In episode 7, that explosion happened in broad daylight. I don't think that's the scenery for Batman to show up. So that's the reason why he couldn't show up there. So, but as far as him not showing up, like I told y'all yesterday, I would have liked to see him in any form besides the light, but that's what we got. And I'm not gonna say I'm mad at it because it's like I said, the ending episode, it was a great episode.
That really
I don't
was.
think we needed Batman, but for what they even just them putting it in there was enough for me, I guess. Like because of how good the episode was, so it evened out. Batman.
No, yeah, I agree. And I don't know if I don't know if my thinking is the same way. Like the episode was so great that like it didn't need it. Um, but it might be because just from how strong that I feel about the series from episode 1 to episode 8 and then it all being concluded, the way that it was wrapped up, it was like Batman was the last thing on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like until I saw the signal and I thought about the joke that I said the other day, I was like, oh shit, that's actually crazy. They really did that. But no, I mean Batman was just an afterthought, and like J Mac was talking about in the beginning, that's a credit to the showrunner. I'm gonna get her name unless J Mac says it right now, but it's a credit to the showrunner. That's a credit to the incredible actors and actresses, and just how well this Matt Reeves universe is being created. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later, and I'm sure we will as well. But it just sucks that this is like Elseworlds. Like the more that this,
Mm-hmm.
the more that this, Matt Reeves universe goes on, it's just like, man, from going from the Batman to this, and then obviously the Joker thing got debunked, but the Batman Part 2. I can't wait. The Batman, I cannot, and I wasn't even there. Like the Batman movie to me was good. I didn't fall in love with it like how I've seen most people have been, but I can't wait. I can't wait. So,
I want
yeah.
to touch on that real quick because you were basically bringing up the fact that this is not a part of James Gunn's universe, right? That's like,
Yep.
so one thing I want to say, like, obviously we haven't seen the Superman movie, but from
Right.
what we can tell, I would say that this Batman that we're currently watching fits more in the old DC than it would have in the new. I don't know. We haven't seen the new one yet, but I just feel like the new one isn't that like, it is not like how this Batman is, if that makes sense. Like, it's not as dark, I feel like. I don't feel like our new DC is this dark. Am I tripping?
I can get what you're saying. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's gonna be the Snyderverse dark, type of thing. Those dark undertones. Well, not even undertones because they threw it in our face that it was just a dark
Yeah.
movie. But no, I don't feel like it. We haven't seen nothing on it yet, but that's not what it feels like it's gonna be. So yeah, I agree.
Just to touch on that real quick before J Mac goes on the last thing. I think it'll be interesting to see just because the way that he's going about his Superman is the more like hopeful, more bright colors. So I can see how you can make that connection. I think we just kind of have to wait and see, maybe with like some still images of what his Gotham and what his Batman's gonna look like. It can very well be still dark and gritty. Like it's still Batman, it's still Gotham at the end of the day. So I just think we got to wait and see a little bit. But I get what you're saying just because of how his Superman movie's looking so far.
Yeah, for sure. Like I stood on business, or not stood on business. I stand by the point, because you brought it to us last on the podcast last episode that Soups was making the point that he should show up and it's gonna hurt his portrayal if he doesn't. I don't think that does, in my opinion. I really don't think it does. Jet talked about it. It didn't really need him. It really didn't. Like, so do you guys even think it might have? I don't know. I don't know if it would have hurt or maybe taken you out of the episode if he showed up.
See, that's the thing. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I just think it depends. I think it changes what that was.
Yeah,
100%. It can't be the same story. Because the episode flowed so amazingly, and you add like Batman is he is the element that like you have to change everything around that. So I just think the episode is different at that point. It still could be great. It's Batman at the end of the day. Like no one's gonna complain, but it for sure is not what we just got, which is a 10 to me. So.
I think I agree with him because at the end of the day, it's about the amount of screen time Batman had and how he like actually affected the plot. Because for me, a great spot would have been when Penguin had the gun to the back of her head. and like he probably interfered, you know, in something quick and just, you know, because the cops are gonna pull up. He threw his batarang or whatever, and then the cops pull up and then he runs or something like that. Like I could see that being the little, you know, and that would have been fine with me. So as long as it wasn't too much to affect the plot. Yeah.
I thought if he was gonna show up, it would have been like right there, exactly like you mentioned, right there to stop that. But no, yeah. So yeah, I feel like the episode was fine. The season was fine without Batman. They, like I said at the beginning, they told us he wasn't even going to be in it, and they stayed true to their word. You know, we just got the bat signal at the end. So yeah. So let us know what you guys thought about the Batman not showing up. Because were you guys in the camp of like he needed to show up, he has to, and you guys need to see him, or it's fine without him? So leave those comments down below. But let's start at the beginning of the episode, man. We start with his mom, Frances, right, and she's doing the therapy, that I guess like the hypnotism therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to see that scene that we saw in the last episode, but from her perspective. And come to find out, she knew everything, man. She knew everything about her son and what he did and who he is. And I thought that was just mind-blowing. I was like, oh, wow, this changes everything. And it gave us a different perspective on how she viewed her son throughout the whole series, man. Like, it really changed a lot of stuff. I thought that was phenomenal. And come to find out, she was actually going to take him out. Like, she was going to send him on a ride with I forget the gangster's name, but with Rex. Yeah, send him on a ride with Rex, and that's it. And she was going to handle it. But yeah, I thought that was phenomenal. She's looking at him differently in the club, and he's talking to her, and yeah, I thought that was great. What'd you guys think about that?
Like, I just think because, like I said, I wasn't as big on this show early on, so like the build up to this episode and showing like the reveal of the mom, it elevated her performance even more because you could kind of see subtle details of her really not liking him, and we just took it as, you know, she's sick, it's probably a head problem, but no, she just does not like him, and they were showing us the entire time until the reveal, and it just like phenomenal, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I echo everything you said, and I thought the way that they were showing shots, like we saw her in the past, like the younger actress, and the going back and forth between the shots, I thought that was brilliant. And it's just like you guys just said, the way that they were telling the story, and her knowing and wanting to kill him, and then ultimately going back on it. It's just like that storytelling was crazy. So you know, I agree, that was amazing.
And then getting to see Sophia find all this information out and kind of do a therapy session of her own. That whole scene was phenomenal. And he had me believing, like, did he even do this shit, or were they fucking with her mind or some shit? Like, did he really do this or not? Gloria even mentioned to me, like, hey, maybe he didn't do it, and they're just doing like some hypnotism on her or some shit, and that's the way she remembers shit, but that's not what actually happened. So he even got me to believe, oh shit, maybe he didn't now, but he did actually do that shit, and that was kind of crazy. That whole scene in the club and her taking them both back to that club was phenomenal. That was a great scene too.
That one-on-one, it's just like, it's crazy because it shows the type of character he was. She revealed it, like he was gonna let them chop her finger off.
Yeah,
like, no, just tell him, but he did not care. And she said, "Do you even really like do you love your mother for real? You like, it's insane." King is a monster.
And then another scene that I thought was phenomenal. I was waiting for this to happen, I think maybe 3 episodes ago, when he got all the gangs together to kind of unite against the Falcones or the Gigantes, and he was like, hey, we need to take the city back, stop letting them run that shit. And they were all kind of hesitant, the leaders of the gangs, and I could see the lieutenants behind them looking like, nah, we buy what you're saying, and we're ready to go. So I thought in that scene right there, they were about to go crazy and just take over. Like, they were going to take out their leaders and do it and it didn't happen. It's like, oh shit, all right, well, maybe eventually. And we actually get to see that come to fruition at the end of this episode, and he's talking to Sophia and letting them know, hey, there's other people out there that feel like we're looked down upon, we're nothing, and we want our time to shine. And they just go through a montage of all the leaders just getting taken out, and I thought that was absolutely crazy. So.
And the build up to that was crazy because it really starts when they're driving up to the scene of the explosion.
Yes.
And Link punches Victor for speaking out of turn and just talking kind of crazy. And I'm thinking like, damn, well, that's the end of that. Then he calls him back and he's like, no, like, let's do this shit. You were right the whole time. And then the more that goes on, I was kind of thinking like, damn, did he just set up Victor? Like, where the hell is Victor? He got God. Like, damn, son, like you really gave it up that easy? And it was just all part of the plan, like you just said, for the lieutenants to step up and take them all out. And I was like, dude, this writing is insane.
Yeah, that airport scene too, leading up to that, yeah, where she comes up and she thinks she won, she's ready to take him out and just dip. And Oz is just like, he's not scared, he's not nervous, he gives a little smirk, and she's like, oh shit, nah, I fucked up. And they just that was phenomenal. That was great. Even Vic at the beginning of the episode too, where because after the scene with his mom, we actually get Vic and he's bringing the gangs and shit, and he actually
that camera work was crazy too, real quick.
Yeah,
that was
that
nice.
shit was awesome. That shit was crazy. And he starts to like, they see the explosion and they're like, oh shit, nah, he's dead, man. We're done. And he's like, what the fuck? And he tries to turn into Oz himself and give that same speech that Oz gave. And I thought it was working a little bit, you know, because they kind of like put the gun down and were listening, or maybe it was just the lieutenants again in the background. And that's when the dude comes up and just punches him to save his life, really, and let him get out of there. So I thought that was a phenomenal scene too. What else do you guys think what was great in the episode?
Well, I mean, we can go to the really the end credit scene of the episode with the letter.
Oh yeah, we get
Go ahead.
We get a shit. And actually, before we get to that scene where he takes her to the bridge, and it looks like he's ready to just finish it, and that's it. He wins the war. I was thinking like, yo, he made a deal with the attorney, though. I think the counselor to turn her in. It's like, oh shit, so he's just not gonna happen. And he made it like torture for her, I could imagine, in the back of her head, just like, nah,
she was ready to die.
Turn around. Yeah, she was ready, like, damn, he's gonna pull the trigger and shit. And he just leaves. She turns around, it's the cops, they take her. And I think in that moment she's realizing, like, oh shit, this is even worse than dying for me, because she's getting sent. She knows where she's going. She's getting sent back to Arkham. And yeah, that's where we see her again. She's in the corner of the room and she's just kind of curled up. And we see the therapist that's been with her this whole time and giving her letters, and she's like, hey, this one's a little bit different. So we get a little bit of a reveal right here, and says, this one's from Selena Kyle. I was like, oh shit, Selena Kyle, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, she talks about being your stepsister or your half sister, and you should read it. And she takes the letter, she opens it, she reads it, and she kind of smirks, I think, too, like, oh shit,
she
what the
starts
fuck?
smiling on me.
Yeah, I thought that was a crazy reveal. So we'll see if they go into that in Batman 2 or what they do with that. But yeah, that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. The ending too, the ending where it finally comes full circle. We've been waiting for it all season. We talked about the cigar. We talked about the episode being titled Top Hat. And this man comes out of his Rolls Royce, which, by the way, I love the fucking purple and gold Maserati. I love that car. That shit was nice. But yeah, he gets a brand new car. It's the Rolls Royce. He opens that shit, comes out. He is suited and booted from top to bottom. He's got the top hat in hand, the cane in his left. I was like, oh shit, that's the Penguin right there. There it is. We finally get to see that. So I thought that was pretty cool for it to come full circle. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, let's just rip the Band-Aid off, man.
Go.
Let's just get to that scene.
Go for it. Talk about it.
I'm gonna just, before you get into it, I told y'all at the beginning I never liked him. I felt bad. I did. I just felt bad. Go ahead.
Hold on. Because I had a theory, and I told this to Jet. I had a theory a while back, because my theory was that Oz was going to be the one to take out his mom. And I thought that because he had made a comment that she was the last good thing in his life and what made him good. And I thought he was going to come to the realization that I can't have this shit. If I want to be where I want to be, I can't have nothing good in my life. I have to take it out. So I thought he was going to be the one to end his mom. And I got the theory right, just not the person right. He said almost those exact words to Vic, and as soon as he put his arms around him, I was like, oh shit, yeah, this is, I don't know if this is going to end well for Vic. And sure enough, he's like, I'm sorry, man, you're good. It wasn't for nothing. And he starts choking him out, man. Vic was pleading to him, please, no, Oz, no, please, man. Like, no, that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. And that was what Jet has been mentioning to us for the whole season, that he was going to do something. And we found out what it was. So kind of crazy.
I felt like that scene was just going on forever. Cause like,
yeah,
I like. I mean, for most people, I guess not Cody, but Vic was just one of my favorite characters. At the top of the list, like when we first, like I didn't really, I guess, kind of like him too much in the beginning, but once we get his backstory and seeing him in the flood, like his family in the flood and everything like that, it was just like, okay, I'm on board. And just to just like that scene played out so beautifully from a narrative standpoint because he literally just called that man family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
That was what tipped it
That's
off.
what triggered it. Yep, that's exactly what
Yep.
triggered it. Crazy writing, absolutely phenomenal.
and it's just like I said at the beginning of this, it just felt like he was choking him out for so long. Like Vic was, like you said, Vic was just fighting till his last breath, and the Penguin is a strong motherfucker, bro. He was he was not letting go. And Andrea made a really good point to me that I wasn't even really thinking about, but she was basically saying that this is what he needed to become the Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
Like she really felt like I like he was doing a whole bunch of lying and killing his enemies, but until he did that, like that, and then gaslighting his mother at the beginning of the episode, it was like those two things that made him the Penguin in my mind. That's what she said, and I couldn't agree more. Like it's like Colin Farrell said, "Fuck him." He's a terrible guy. It was beautiful. It was beautiful storytelling. It was crazy, insane.
Two things I want to touch on that. One, when it came to Vic's character, it didn't really occur to me that he's not a character that is going to be around. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not supposed to be sticking around. So I never really thought that he was going to kill him off because the whole time with remember when the mom had her little trip event and then she was telling him like, if I go insane, I need you to kill me. Like, that's why I was on board with agreeing like, oh, he's going to kill his mom. But when it happened to Vic, it didn't even occur to me like, well, Vic really is just a side character that's really not supposed to be here because Penguin doesn't have like a sidekick. Like, so it just elevated that scene because it's like, wow, like, yeah, it's the Penguin now. And another thing is that we say all of this about he wanted to eliminate everything, like every factor that to mess him up, like if somebody were to like take someone's loved one, but he kept his mom around. She's the potato, and she's still kicking. He has her in the penthouse because he fulfilled the promise.
He did keep that promise to her, and I didn't even realize until I was watching the inside of the episode. And Cody brought it up just right now that she told him, "I don't want to be a fucking vegetable. You kill me if I become a vegetable." And he didn't do that. It showed in that scene. You could tell. I think she was like still there. She's like, I don't know if it was because she was at the top finally. Probably not. To me, I took it like she's a fucking vegetable. She can't do shit, and she's just crying. Yeah, she's suffering exactly. And I don't know if it's kind of like his evil side, not just like I'm gonna leave you there like that. That's what it is. I don't think it is. I think he's just delusional in his mind, and he just wants his mom, and
he's possessive as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I thought that was a crazy scene and way to wrap up that mother storyline. Crazy. Like Jet keeps mentioning, man. Phenomenal storytelling, phenomenal writing. Lauren LaFranc was the showrunner on this. Jet was going to bring that up.
Lauren, take a bow. Take a fucking
yeah. She did great. She did absolutely phenomenal. Then we get to actually see his girl, his love interest from the early on in the season, and she's in his mom's dress, and she's kind of taking on that mantle of being his mom in that role. And I don't know, what you guys think?
See, okay, I want to talk about that too because it makes sense now because she really means nothing to him. But we know why she's been around for him because at the end of the day, she's someone that looks just like his mom. And that was the plan. In my eyes, that's what I was seeing like, we didn't see it until now. Like, his whole plan was he was always meeting up with her because he sees her as his mom, as another version of his mom, because obviously talking to his mom is like talking to a wall. She's, in and out, but talking to her, he can just be like, I'm gonna give you money, just act like my mom and tell me you're proud of me. So now we actually see it happen because we never actually saw them interacting besides like, when they had to go and say hi, bye. But we actually see how he is with her when he pays for her time. So yeah, this man's insane.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. She makes a comment right there that city's yours, man. Nothing can stop you. But right at that moment, they zoom out of the place, and you
Yep.
see the bat signal go up, and there's one person that can stop them, and that's as we all know, the Batman. So yeah, absolutely crazy. One last thing I want to talk about, and let me see. I want to get Cody's take on this because we have the same mindset on this. Child
Oh,
actors, okay?
Oh,
Ryder Allen, who played the young Oz, he played a young
Mhm.
penguin. What did you think of his performance?
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie. Call this a reach if you want. That might have been one of the best child performances
No.
I've ever seen.
You're not wrong. I'm
He
with you.
is phenomenal as like, bro. He's gonna like,
Yeah.
the
Yeah, he
accent was
Yep,
chef's kiss.
I was gonna say, bro. I was gonna say the accent. Yep, he did a
Like,
great accent. He really
yeah,
did.
bro. I felt like he was the same person. That's what blew my mind. I was like, wow, I'm convinced this is the younger version of him. Convinced. Yeah, 10 out of 10 performance, honestly.
Yeah, Ryder Allen really did his thing. He
Yeah,
did phenomenal.
yeah.
Yeah, he really did. So that's one thing me and Cody always talk about is
Yeah.
child actors, man. And he did his thing.
That was one of the ones, man.
But any other things you guys want to talk about before we head out?
Well, since you went on that note, really just the acting in this show, like I still really think that the star of this show when it came to just really acting, in my opinion, was still Christine Militoli that played
Yes.
Sophia Falcone. I think she stole damn near every scene she was in. She was phenomenal. She made me want more of her. And she was just great. The way that she would do like the kind of the big ass eyes, and just the way that she would do shit with her face, like you could see the emotions that she was going through just by her face. Like she didn't really have to say any lines. You could tell that she was crazy. Her really in the later episodes, the mom, Deirdre O'Connell,
Yeah.
Frances Cobb. To me, in the later episodes,
Yeah,
she got it.
She yes, absolutely.
From going from back and forth. Really, that matter of fact, like you said in that last episode, she was really doing it with the dementia. She was going back and forth, and Sophia really got to see that shit firsthand. That scene, I was like, whoa,
Yeah,
that's crazy. We know what Colin Farrell is. Phenomenal.
Yeah,
he was phenomenal in the Batman. He killed it in this. Obviously, it's his show.
top 5. I'll say that right here, right now. Top 5.
Top 5 what?
Actors for me.
Because I was about to say, Justin, Sophia did her shit, right? Penguin, are you crazy? What did you do to my ma? Ma, what did you...
Yeah.
He's sitting there chained up. Ma, look at me.
Talk about his strength too, because Jeff mentioned how strong that motherfucker ripped the fucking duct tape out, picked up his mom, started shoot. I was like, oh shit, gangster right there, Oz. Man, he picked her up. I didn't see the limp in his leg no more. That motherfucker was running on adrenaline. Man. That dude was walking out, shooting people. Yeah, that was crazy. So yeah, that was great. Great performance from Colin. Sorry to cut you off, Jeff. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I thought Theo Rossi, who played Dr. Rush, I thought he was really good. Clancy Brown, I mean, we know, fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Salvatore Maroni. And Vic, Renzi Feliz.
Yeah.
I mean, I was saying in the beginning, I don't know if that stutter is real, but then I saw him doing interviews, and that shit is not real. He speaks perfectly fine. Crazy, phenomenal. They got some real talent with this show, and it showed during every episode. Every scene was somebody really stepping up. Even Michael Kelly, you said Johnny Vitti. He was, you know, you're watching a series review when he was alive. Yeah. He was doing a great job. So yeah, the acting on this show was on point. What'd you say the showrunner's name was again?
Lauren LaFranc.
Miss LaFranc did her fucking thing when it came to that storytelling. Phenomenal, all 8 episodes. And like I said in the beginning, man, I still feel like I have faith in James Gunn. I really do. But this shit should be the Batman. Like this should be the Batman universe, man.
This is gonna be hard to beat. I'm not gonna fucking lie. This is gonna be hard to beat. Yeah. So he's got a tall task in front of him, and I'm sure he's like, damn, I should have asked this shit because this shit's making me look bad.
He
So
probably saw what they were working on and said, I can't shut this shit down.
yeah, this is phenomenal. This is absolutely great. And you know what? I don't know. I don't think they gave us anything for the Batman 2, if I'm being honest. They don't really have to go to the Penguin.
No,
They really
no,
don't. They really
yeah.
don't. He could just be doing his thing, whatever, and he's handling somebody else. So this was phenomenal. It leaves us with theories and questions for the Batman 2 that I am absolutely looking forward to. We know that there's more shows on the horizon. Obviously, Jet mentioned at the beginning there was the rumor of the Joker getting he's next. Well, that got no.
Very
I think it was James Gunn, right? James Gunn came himself, and no, I said no, that's not happening. So we'll see what who else they decide to choose for their next show. But phenomenal, man, absolutely phenomenal show. And then real quick, because there was questions of the Batman rights and stuff like this. This is from Screen Rant, so we'll see exactly. Disney does not control the Batman TV rights because there was a thing of like they don't own Batman TV rights, so that's why he's never really in a show. They could, from what I understand, shout out to our friends over at Geek Speaks, they were talking about how he can either show up as Bruce Wayne, but or like hold the cowl in his hand, or he can't show up fully dressed as Batman in TV. Like that supposedly they can't do that. Well, the rumors were that Disney has control. That is not the case, according to James Gunn. He debunked that. But Batman's limited presence on TV is due to his constant movie appearances and certain film characters being off limits. And Batman can play role across all universes or all DC universe, including TV shows and presence. And what is it? As his presence needs to be felt everywhere. So I don't know, for whatever reason, they just don't want to put him in, cameos and shows like that. So I don't know. Let us know what you guys think about that. But yeah, phenomenal show. If you guys seen it, comment what your guys' ratings are down below in the comments. Episodes, the whole season. Let us know who you guys think or who you want to see in their next show coming from. I don't know if it's going to be Lauren LeFranc, I would imagine, or if they're going to give somebody else a shot. We'll see. But yeah, let us know who you want to see next up. Any final thoughts? Any words of wisdom, things before we head out of here?
Ma, I'm gonna take care of you.
The Batman Part 2, can't wait. We're 2 years away. Apparently, we brought that news to our LFG fam, maybe 2 weeks ago or last week, whenever that was. But yeah, we're 2 years away. Hopefully, there's a possibility, maybe we do get a show. Maybe, who knows? That would be awesome. But I just want more of this universe, and I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, there you guys go. 2 10s and a 9 for the Penguin. Like I said, go check it out. Do yourselves a favor. Leave all your thoughts on what you thought about the show, what you thought about a review down in the comments below. And while you're down there in those comments, go ahead and drop us a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Go ahead and do that. That would be much appreciated. But in the meantime, keep it locked here to LFG, where we got you covered on anything and everything in pop culture. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.